Everyone saw the fall, but no one expected who would rise because of it. And in that blinding midday sunlight, the truth hit harder than the pavement ever could. At Fort Wellington's main gate, traffic paused, dust swirled in the hot breeze, and a cluster of young cadets laughed as a woman struggled to get back up. She wasn't just any woman. She was a disabled Army sergeant, her metal brace glinting sharply under the sun as she tried not to wince. And when one cadet casually nudged her crutch with his boot, sending her stumbling forward again, the base went silent, as if even the sky held its breath. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Sergeant Lena Hayes swallowed the sting in her throat as she steadied herself. She had faced enemy fire overseas, but humiliation in broad daylight, surrounded by her own, cut deeper. The cadets snickered, the kind of youthful arrogance that grows when no one thinks they'll be held accountable. She wanted to snap back. She wanted to remind them the reason she limped was because she pushed through a collapsing building to drag out 3 men who never thanked her. But she said nothing. Silence felt safer than the tremble she felt in her voice. A crowd formed near the entrance. Drivers stepping out, soldiers from nearby posts pausing mid-step. Murmurs rippled through them, sharp as gravel under boots. A woman in uniform being mocked by those meant to follow in her footsteps. It didn't sit right with anyone. And then someone noticed the approaching SUV. It rolled up slowly, tinted windows reflecting the sun, the kind of vehicle only one man on the base used. A wave of tension swept the crowd. Cadets straightened. Soldiers stiffened. Even Lena felt her breath stop for a moment. The door opened, and out stepped Admiral Jonathan Reddick, the Navy SEAL's highest-ranking general in the region, a legend whispered about in every mess hall. Broad shoulders, sun marking the lines of his face, his presence alone changed the air. Some said when he walked into a room, even time held formation. He saw Lena. He saw the dust on her uniform, the crooked crutch in her grip, the cadets stiff with fear. And he saw the shame in the eyes of every onlooker who realized they hadn't acted soon enough. Reddick didn't shout. He didn't bark orders. His voice was calm, deliberate, the kind that made you remember every word for the rest of your life. Which one of you tripped a decorated soldier on my base? No one spoke. The wind moved instead, kicking up warm dust that floated between them like evidence. Lena lowered her eyes, embarrassed. She wished he hadn't noticed. She wished she could disappear into the sunlight pooling around her feet. But Reddick stepped closer, his shadow cutting across the ground. "Sergeant Hayes," he said softly, "look at me." She did. Her chest tightened. "You don't bow your head to anyone here. You earned your ground." Her throat burned with emotions she hadn't let herself feel in years. Reddick now turned to the cadets, slow, steady, like a tide about to pull everything back with it. "You want to wear this uniform, then you learn what it stands for today." He gestured to Lena. "She is everything you are not yet. Bravery, sacrifice, discipline. You don't step on that. You rise to meet it." Whispers spread. Soldiers nodded. Even those who hadn't witnessed the fall now felt the weight of it. The cadets stood frozen, until Reddick ordered them forward. "Kneel," he said. "Tie her boot, adjust her crutch. Show her the respect you should have shown from the start." A gasp tore through the crowd. It wasn't punishment, it was education. And in the bright afternoon, under the unblinking sun, the cadets obeyed, shame reddening their faces as they helped Lena stand comfortably again. She thought she'd never see dignity restored so publicly. She was wrong. When she tried to thank the admiral, he simply shook his head. "Just keep walking, Sergeant. Every step you take reminds this base what real strength looks like." Lena did. And for the first time in a long while, the limp didn't feel like a burden. It felt like a badge. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And sometimes it arrives in broad daylight, stepping out of a black SUV, right when you need it most. Thank you for listening to this story. If it moved you, drop a comment, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Your support keeps this channel alive.